When I picked quantum as my word of the year, one, it's because I'm not fucking tired of it because it's never resonated with me until now. People talk a lot about quantum leaping, and that has never resonated with me until right now because I didn't know what it meant because I wasn't experiencing it in my daily life. But quantum leaping and quantum are two different things. And that's the piece I really, really love about this and why it feels really magical for me now in 2023. The quantum is the little teeny micro daily actions that then in turn leap me forward and advance me so far into my hopes and dreams and desires. What up, Style Nation? Welcome back to the Styled for Life podcast. It's your girl, Katie. So grateful to be here with you today. Hello, 2023. I can't believe it. Wow. So 2023, this means we're heading into our 4th year podcasting. And I'm still not rich on this thing yet. God damn it. Just joking. I am so excited to be here. If you're new, welcome to the juiciest fucking podcast on, I was going to say on Apple, but anywhere you listen to podcasts. I'm so excited you're here. And so all my OG babes, hey, are you ready to do this? Are you ready to, I want to say dominate because that's the, go get them energy in me. But are you ready to make 2023 everything you want it to be? Juicy and vibrant and iconic and mega. Yes. I'm super excited. I'm so excited for today's episode. I love this episode. This is our lifestyle edit roundup episode where I share all the deets, kind of laying the intention for the month, things I've been loving, mindset strategies, almost like a little mini intentional setting. You can think of this as almost like your new moon intention setting podcast episode, but it's really rounded in our lifestyles and how we're living and showing up all the time. Of course, there's an emphasis on style because that is my gift among many of the things. It's the tool that I love to share and embody and help other ladies embody and take on is self-expressing through what we wear on a daily basis. So if you love today's episode, this is actually one of my most downloaded episodes every single month is the Lifestyle Edit Roundup. So thank you so much for always coming back in. If you have something you want to add to this episode, something that you're loving, that I need to share, that everyone needs to know, definitely hit me up on Insta and let me know. If you have a friend who is not listening to this podcast, that you need to listen to this podcast, let's grow our squad together. Share it with them or tag me on Instagram at Katie Allen Stylist. Let peeps know what you're listening to. Let them know the magic that we are creating over here together. And if 2023 is the year, because we all have things that we're going to do this year, right? If 2023 is the year that you're ready to feel good in your body now without killing yourself in the gym for the next 6 weeks, you can definitely still kill yourself in the gym in the next 6 weeks. But we can work on making you feel good in your body right now as it is juicy and amazing as it is currently where you are. And it's time to get styled, baby, and use all those magic tricks. Then hit me up on Insta or just hop on and book a call. Just take some fucking action. Let's do it. Stop being in motion. Take some action. I'm an action taker. If I know that I want to do something, I'm just a quick decision maker. So if you're like me, you can book a call. We can talk and see if it's a really good fit. If you have questions, you need all the details before we make that jump and that kind of commitment, then hit me up on Insta. I'm here for you, babe. But 2023 is my year. It's your year. It's all of our years. So let's hop into today's episode. Really excited. Oh my God. I know I've been talking about this for weeks and weeks, but I believe that that's how we really create the life and the magic that we want is our thoughts, our words, our intentions. So I don't think I've ever done this, and I probably just did it last year, but if I did, I don't remember, and it goes to show why we shouldn't set New Year's goals. No, I'm just joking. I am not going to talk about New Year's goals in this episode because I have a love-hate relationship with them. But I think if you're like me, you know that the win is really in our micro daily actions. It's not the big, hairy goal. It's the micro daily actions. It's mastering the basics, which I know can be really annoying. If you are like me, I play this game a lot where I'm like, I already know everything I need to know, or there's nothing else you can tell me. If one more person tells me to hydrate or meditate, like my head's going to literally pop off. But when those things slip, and they do, then shit just is never the same. And I have been meditating like crazy lately, and it is a game changer. Now I know I'm going to hit a phase where I stop and I'll be like, why did I stop meditating? What's missing? Why am I so upset? But for me currently right now, I'm banging it out. So it really is around mastering the basics. So now that I've tangented off of what I was really going to say next, which was about New Year's resolutions and words of the year, I don't know if I had a word of the year last year. Actually, I know I did. I know I had an intention for the year, and it was to nurture and shine. And I think I did that. I did that, right? Yeah, we did that together. So my word of the year this year, and I've been alluding to it, and you've heard me say it over and over, and you're like, oh, duh, I already knew this, is quantum. And I want to tell you why quantum is my word of the year. So I love words. I love colors. I love art. And to me, words are art. I love to talk, right? So words are art. I love music. When I listen to a song, like, yes, I'm hearing the beat, but I'm also really intently listening to the words. And I like to look up definitions of words because a lot of times in society, we get caught up on things and then we just like go with what everyone's saying and we don't question it and we don't take it deeper. And we go and create beliefs off of this fake ass interaction that we have with someone else's facade and someone else's mask. I talked about this on last week's episode, even though it was in last year, about making life decisions based on just like basic knowledge that people are sharing with you all the time and making judgments and whole fucking life stories. Like, God knows I do this shit with my husband all the time. Like, we'll be walking, and I think walking and small interactions is like the perfect example. Like, you're walking and you see someone, you're like, hey, how you doing? You know, because that's what people say. And then they say, oh, you know, living the dream. And you're like, oh my God. And then like we will go off on this tangent and like map out like their whole life. Like, we're down to like what their kids are doing, their bank accounts, like all this stuff. And I'm like, and then we'll start laughing because we're like, yeah, we literally just created this whole like person's life that our perception of it just based off of a comment that they made. And it's funny to me. And then we will like create beliefs off of this. And it's funny to me that we do this all the time. So when I picked quantum as my word of the year, one, it's because I'm not fucking tired of it, because it's never resonated with me until now. People talk a lot about quantum leaping, and that has never resonated with me until right now because I didn't know what it meant because I wasn't experiencing it in my daily life. But quantum leaping and quantum are two different things. And that's the piece I really, really love about this and why it feels really magical for me now in 2023, or just right now in this space and time that we are in. So I want to tell you the definition that I pulled off of like dictionary.com or whatever of quantum. So in physics, the definition of quantum is the smallest discrete quantity of a physical property that a system can process. The smallest, most discrete quantity, right, of physical property or energy. But quantum leaping, on the other hand, is the biggest, quickest way to advance, to like leapfrog like over 10 people's heads, right? And I love the irony of this because it really fits into what I really believe around how I started this whole thing around. It's not this big, hairy, juicy, well, I love big, hairy, juicy goals, but it's not this big, hairy, exhausting thing that you have to be epic every day and you have to do something epic every day. And I get stuck in this trap all the time. Like, I show up weekly on a podcast and I'm always like, is this content good enough? Are people going to think I'm dumb? And it doesn't have to be epic every week. You're just like sharing these little teeny micro, the smallest, most discrete quantity of a physical property that can push forward a process, right? So in my mind, that means that the quantum is the little teeny micro daily actions, the getting up and brushing my teeth. Well, I love brushing my teeth. Getting up and hydrating before I drink the coffee. Those little teeny micro actions that then in turn, if I do them every day, leap me forward and advance me so far into my hopes and dreams and desires. So that's why I picked the word quantum. Also, I'm not really sure that I understand what quantum physics is, and I'm not really sure that as a society as a whole, yes, there's a percentage of humans that always understand everything, that are light years ahead, and no pun intended, or ahead of the masses, right? The super early adopters. But my understanding of quantum energy is that it can be changed based on the observer. And I think that's really powerful, meaning that based on my emotional vibration, that the outcome of something can be changed. And that is why the word of the year is quantum. So if you are looking to upgrade into a quantum lifestyle, then show up on the podcast. Every week, every Monday, Style for Life podcast, we are going to be quantum fucking baby stepping over here so that we can quantum leap. And I just love that energy so much. So just setting the foundation on what you can expect this year is quantum meganess. And that is exactly the energy I'm infusing into my Style Squad community that I will be launching this spring. So if you're here for the podcast, you love the podcast, and you want to be surrounded by other ladies who just want to be in a like-minded community, and you're tired of conforming, and you're tired of being mediocre, not that you are mediocre, but living in a mediocre lifestyle based on someone else's beliefs that you don't even know, like the surface level of beliefs based on the things that you hear from someone not even giving you their most authentic self, then this is why I'm creating this community, and it's going to be quantum and epic and mega and juicy. I just love the word juicy. Then join the Style Squad. It's not ready, but you can hop on the wait list, katiejuststyled.com/squad in the show notes. And we're going to be quantum. So, I had to do it next. That's the word of the year is quantum. So if quantum had a color, what would quantum be? I am fucking obsessed with Pantone's color of the year. And I have a mini story around this. I promised myself that this episode wouldn't be too long, but we'll see how this one goes. In a prior life, funny, true story, I was a director of trends, meaning like forecasting, what trends we should integrate, studying them, which trends we should integrate into our business, which ones were worth following, things like that. And it was in home goods, not the company, but in home good materials, right? And flooring materials. And part of that research was colors. And we partnered up with PPG paints every year. And every year they do a really big, deep color analysis, very similar to Pantone, right? So they do their big color of the year announcement. I don't even know what it is, because to be fully transparent with you, it's still a little bit of a trigger for me. But Pantone, I feel like, really guides the art community, the creative community, and obviously the fashion community, right? So little nods to this. And I guess if I was paying attention, I would have noticed. So when Jennifer Lopez was just on the cover of Vogue, she had on this beautiful red dress with a really big flower up front. And it was a nod at the magenta verse, the Viva Magenta, which in fact is this beautiful, vibrant red color. Now, when I think of magenta, I think of what I'm going to say like textbook crown magenta, which definitely has a little bit more pink in it. And the Viva Magenta really is encompassing all the shades of magenta, right? It's the pulsating. So it's all the way from the really animated red to the classic color of magenta. But when you look at the swatch, it is in fact like a little bit deeper. But I'm so excited for this. And the reason I'm so excited for this, and what I think is really powerful for this, which again, like getting deep and not just taking it at what it is is the research behind it, the color psychology behind it, and why Pantone chose this for the color of the year in 2023. And I think it's so amazing. And I actually want to read off, just like I gave you a definition a second ago, I actually want to read off some of the text from their press release. And this is why I'm obsessed with the Viva Magenta as the color of the year, and why I think it's perfectly, well, for one, it's like, let's be honest, every fucking one of my favorite lipstick colors is magenta of some kind. So there's that, which feels super quantum to me. But I really want to tell you the words, because when I wear the lipstick, the words, I feel the words. I can feel these energy. I can visualize these. I don't know if you're a visual learner, or if you if you feel things, or if you see things, or if you hear things. However you learn, whatever sets you off, get into that space right now. And I want you to imagine these words in your mind, or I want you to feel these words in your body, or I just want you to hear them and let them sink in and trigger whatever sensation it is that they trigger for you. And ask yourself, where is this coming up for you? So Viva Magenta, what does it mean for 2023? It embodies fearlessness, a pulsating color whose exuberance promotes a joyous and optimistic celebration, writing a new narrative. Like the heavens just parted. Did they not just part? We're writing a new narrative. That's what 2023 is all about for me. That's what Style Squad is all about for me. That's what the word quantum is. That's what we are doing together on this podcast. If you're going to join the community, that's what it's all about. And you don't even have to join the community. Just come show up to the podcast every week. The community is just for the person who wants to take it an extra step. It's going to be quantum. It's going to be Viva Magenta every step of the way. It's a new animated red that revels in pure joy. Who doesn't need more joy in their life? It encourages experimentation. Remember what I said about we're not conforming and we're not playing the game of mediocrity. And last but not least, it is self-expression without restraint. Yes. It's an electrifying and boundaryless shade that is manifesting as a standout statement. Viva Magenta galvanizes our spirit, helping us to build inner strength. Woof. Oh my God, I have full body fucking chills. If your goal always, not just in 2023, but I'm going to go on a limb and say that one of your goals, all of your goals are rooted in creating more joy in your life, encouraging experimentation, being courageous, staying curious, and self-expression without restraint. If you listen to this podcast and you're attracted to the work that I do and the content that I create on a weekly basis, then I know self-expression without restraint is something that you are toying with all the time. And this color is magical. So color of the year, that's one of my brand colors. So I'm also a little partial, right? Viva Magenta. And it's quantum, baby. So how do we be quantum? How are we living? Every time I say Viva Magenta, I literally think of the, what's his fucking name? The Livin' La Vida Loca guy. Like every single time I think of that. God, what's his damn name? Oh, Ricky Martin. I was like, it's right on the tip of my tongue. So for me, how does this play into the life? What am I sharing on the podcast? How do I want to encourage you this week? So now that I've talked 18 minutes around being quantum and Viva and Magenta, how do we live this? How do we step into this? Because I love being inspired. I love knowing and being like, yes, I can live outside of my boundaries. Yes, I can self-express without restraint. And then my brain immediately goes to, but how the fuck do I do that? Like, what does that even mean? Break it down. Like we talked about baby micro actions. What does this even mean? So quantum lifestyle edits. I talked about in December lifestyle edit about my quantum monthly meetups and like how I'm checking in with myself every month. What are my big scary, by scary, I just mean things I've always wanted to do that I don't let myself do. Goals in my business and my family, with my health, whatever it is. You know, what am I consuming? What am I doing? Right? So let's get into this quantum lifestyle edit audit. What are you manifesting in your life? I saw this amazing quote from another stylist that I follow, Christy Riesel. I think that's how you say her name. I bet a lot of you follow her on Instagram. I know you do because I shared it. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I've been following her forever. She put an amazing quote up and I totally agree, but it got me thinking about all areas of life. But yes, we will circle back around and focus on clothes before this podcast is over. But she said, your clothing directly reflects what you are manifesting. So I want you to pause. I want you to look down at your outfit. I want you to observe the colors. I want you to observe the fit. I want you to observe the quality. I want you to look at the way it feels on your body. Does it have any, I'm going to say smells, but like, did you adorn yourself with perfume today? Did you take time to do your hair, your makeup, or your fingernails, or moisturize your skin, whatever your self-care body adornment ritual is? Did you incorporate that today? And maybe today is the day that you were like, I'm just running errands and I didn't do any of that. At least I hope you put on your sunscreen. I didn't do any of that. Then that's fine. But just think about the last couple of days. What are you manifesting with your clothes? And now take that lifestyle audit and like start going through all the other pieces of your life. And this is how we micro-step this, because these are not changes that we're changing overnight. We're not burning your closet to the ground. We're not throwing away all the food in your refrigerator, right? We're not getting rid of everything. How are we micro-stepping to these goals? When we do lifestyle audits, it's really to just start paying attention to what's working and what's not working. That's it. And what's not working is a gift, because now you know where to put some energy in the riffs. I was also listening to a James Wedmore podcast over Christmas break, and he said every night before he goes to bed, he focuses on his nightly routine, maybe even more than his morning. I can't remember. And he said every night he asks himself, where did he run into conflict? And then is there a solution for that? Because he was saying, like, as an entrepreneur, one of his deep core values is freedom from all the things that don't make him happy. So and it's not to just like overhaul, it's to notice, where am I running into the conflict so that I can create solutions to change them. I was just talking to a really good friend about this, and she runs a business and she's been offering the solutions. And then we were like, you know what? I don't think people even know they have a problem. How can we create a solution for something that we don't even know we have a problem, right? If you don't even know what's bothering you, then how do you know what the solution is? So go through your quantum lifestyle, each of your lifestyle pieces. So your relationships, your money, your social life, your career, your marriage, your kids, your health, your spiritual, your emotional, like whatever your buckets are. I have the law of attraction planner at the end of every month. There's a little circle. It's broken up like a pie. It has all the things like my attitude, my personal development, my money, my career, my family. Make it your own. Make it your own. Think of the key areas of your life. What are you manifesting? What are you reading? What are you watching? Who are you hanging out with? Squat up. What are you eating? I just signed on to do a whole another year with my nutritionist, Amber. You guys know we have a great business relationship. She's been on the podcast. She's going to come on the podcast again to share some micro habits for 2023. It's a priority, right? What I'm eating, what I'm taking into my body, and not just to lose weight. I am a vain person. Yes, right? I love to look good. It makes me feel good. I love adorning my body. But one thing I have learned over these last 3 years in COVID is, but most importantly, it doesn't matter what the fuck I look like if I don't feel good on the inside. What I look like on the outside is a fucking bonus. I've done a lot of fucking work inside and out. Well, not out really, inside. And when I say out, I haven't done work. When I think of work, I think of plastic surgery. So that's what I meant. Inside and out, to the point where these two things have to constantly be working in tandem, right? What I look like on the outside doesn't make me feel good on the inside. But I know if I am having a shitty day, if I do not wear clothes that make me feel good, or if I don't put on the lipstick that makes me feel good, then it is going to impact, right? Because I'm doing that for myself. I enjoy looking at myself and being proud of how I look because it makes me feel good. And that vanity isn't always for other people. Yes, sometimes it is, because I'd be lying if I told you I didn't want to look good for my husband on date nights and things, or that I didn't want him to desire me and things like that. But How do you feel on the inside? What are you manifesting? What are you eating? How does your environment look? Does your environment look in a way that you want it to look? Like, if you say that you want joy and calm and peace in your life, and that's one of your core values, is your environment reflecting that? Are you walking into a room that's scattered? Like right now, my office is scattered. It's looking a little crazy. And I walked in here and I was like, Katie, we got to get this cleaned up. So actually, before I recorded, I actually did, because I do not like things being scattered, because it doesn't make me feel calm and centered. It doesn't make me feel quantum. It doesn't make me feel like I can get on here and be like, you know what you need to know? What's your lifestyle? I'm joking. This is just sharing of inspiration. You do whatever you want. But what are you wearing? What are those clothes directly reflecting back to you, right? That is what you're manifesting. All of that. I think that's so true. I feel like I've been like manifesting like fucking crazy. And I'm so excited because I feel like there is a collective energy that comes in the new year that you cannot ignore. You can't, because it's going to impact you. You are going to be inundated with it. And that's why it's so important to do this lifestyle edit, because you get to choose what the energy is, what you are consuming, right? What you are reading, what you're watching, who you're hanging out with, what you're eating. How does your environment look? How does your environment feel? Is it cluttered? Is it cleaned up? What colors? Speaking of color, we talked about color for like 15 minutes. The colors you surround yourself let off chemical reactions in your brain. Did you know that? Yes, they do. Orange lets off dopamine in your brain and is associated with happiness, and it's a happy color. Orange was a really big hot color last year. It will continue to be. It lets off a feeling. Red, Viva Magenta, it's a visceral feeling. You associate red and magenta with lots of things, right? Plants is where they really derive this color from, right? When a lot of things are going digital, they really wanted to incorporate the beauty and the striking, beautiful colors that plants and flowers, I guess flowers mostly, can be in nature to give you that visceral gut reaction of joy, of self-expression, of being this beautiful flower that doesn't close when someone else walks by it, right? So when you sit down and do your lifestyle edit, go through that. And none of these things are going to happen overnight. Just pick your biggest space that you know you can make the most amount of leeway in the smallest amount of time, right? Remember, the definition of quantum is the smallest discrete quantity of a physical property that can push a system forward. So what's the smallest thing you can do? Maybe it's what you're reading. Like, if what you're reading is not helping you and it only makes you feel like shit, then stop fucking doing it, right? Watching TV is a big one for me. So I used to have like no guardrails. I would watch fucking anything. Then the older I get, I'm like, not watching that. Now I still have a soft spot for drug cartel shows. But I do see how they impact my mental health, because now I can't walk around my fucking neighborhood without coming up with crazy scenarios every time the Amazon truck is driving by. If I'm by myself, it impacts, it gets into our subconscious, right? So I want to share some style tips to start the year out, right? What we're manifesting. What did Chrissy say? Your clothing directly reflects what you are manifesting. So with that being said, let's start thinking about that. Don't go burn your closet down just yet. But for the month of January, I think it's a great month to focus on this. Start with strong foundations. So many of my clients have said to me, oh my God, like getting new bras and underwear, I didn't know how important that was. Start with your foundations. I talk about getting new underwear all the time. I think I'm going to write a fucking book on the power of getting new underwear. Get new bras. If you've never been measured for a bra, go get measured for a bra. Watch a YouTube video. Hit me up. Whatever you want to do. Let's get measured for a new bra. And let's go buy some new underwear. We'll get some bras and some new underwears. And if you need shapewear, let's get some new shapewear. I'm going to create a shopping board with all of my favorite brands. I will share it with you guys. Don't be scared of shapewear. Shapewear was invented for a reason. It doesn't have to be as torturous as it can be, and I'm not saying that you need shapewear. If you don't wanna wear shapewear, if you don't need to wear anything that requires shapewear, then boo, do you. But if you are desiring to wear something that would make you feel more comfortable, then get some shapewear. Shapewear is amazing. I have some amazing, amazing brands that I can share with you no matter where you're on your journey. I know after I had my kids, I wish that like real shapewear would have been invented, but again, the internet was barely invented. But I remember wearing like the belly bands after I had my son, and it just made me feel so much better about myself. It just made me feel pulled in spots where I just felt like I was loose. And this is really metaphorically, but physically, right? Like where my body was changing and I felt loose, it and started making my feelings feel loose. And I felt open and like people could just like get in my head because nothing felt like it was mine anymore. And I wasn't really sure how to put it all back together. Like shapewear really made me feel better. There's a time and a place for everything. And jeans, if you haven't invested in anything, buy yourself a great pair of jeans. So get some amazing underwear, get some bras, and get some jeans. Those are your strong foundational pieces. Those are the pieces that no matter what, you will always be wearing. We can build on top of. Start your new year strong. Those are the micro actions to take today. Now, I am going to share some fun because it's style, baby. And I love to share the fun stuff too. Some fun styling tips for you around how to incorporate the Viva Magenta color of the year into your wardrobe. But if you're looking for your baby stepping quantum style homework for the month is to build strong foundations: bras, underwear, shapewear, and jeans. Shapewear is optional, but I'm throwing it out there because ain't no shame in whatever you feel like wearing. And then you're going to DM me and you're going to tell me what you got and if you like it, because that's how we're holding each other accountable and creating quantum lifestyles in 2023. All right. I want to leave you with some fun little tips on incorporating the color of the year, Viva Magenta, into your wardrobes this season, next season, all the things. Now, in March, when I do my really big spring, summer style book, How to Shop Like a Stylist, you know I'm going to have Viva Magenta in there. So we'll have pictures and all of that. But in the meantime, you're not going to be able to get away from it. So let's talk about it. So here's some fun ways that I personally will be working it in and be sharing with my clients. Your shade of Viva Magenta, because it's the magenta verse, right? There's a couple of different shades. If you look at the pictures and the graphics, there's multiple different shades, all the way from the vibrant red down to the true magenta, right? So first and foremost, get you some lipstick, baby. Every damn lipstick company right now is out making sure that they have a version of this Viva Magenta. It will be ready for you. All you gotta do is go shop it. One of my friends, we had a holiday dinner over the break, and she gave me out, I think it was NYX Juicy. It's a beautiful, beautiful shade. Accessories. I think accessories are gonna be a fun place to show up with this. So in my mind, I'm picturing like cocktail rings or hair accessories and earrings, maybe even like socks. Now that I'm thinking about it out loud, I love graphic fun socks, right? That's a fun place to show up. Maybe your Converse, Vans, maybe they'll do a play on this. So a trend I saw on Pinterest. So Pinterest at the end of every year does a trends for the next year based off what people are starting to search and pin on Pinterest, which I think is amazing. And I looked at it and I'm waiting to see if some of them are going to happen or not. But one thing they brought up that I thought was fun, which I don't think anyone's going to do, but I was thinking, I bet you'll start to see more and more pink hair, cranberry hair, red hairstyles being more and more popular in 2023 because of the Viva Magenta. And then I saw on Pinterest, they were saying, you know how I've talked about color blocking on the podcast before, last fall being one of the big trends that I personally love. And they were talking about color blocking going to hair colors. Woo woo, who's down? Let me know. I will not be doing color blocking in my hair, but if you want to, let's talk about it. Another way, another like accessory way to work in Viva Magenta that I think is going to be magical is going to absolutely fucking be fingernails and toenail polish. Go look for your gel Petty and Manny and get you some Viva Magenta as a reminder that you are allowed to be boundaryless in the lifestyle that you are creating and build your inner strength. And the one thing I really love about this Viva Magenta and the actual Pantone swatch, the like Pantone 180 or whatever the swatch number is, like I said, it is a little bit more of the deeper red. And I love red and that really powerful inner gut feeling that I get when I see a really deep, powerful red, to wear that during my bleed. It's an amazing way to remind yourself that you are amazing and that during your bleed, you're the most connected to spirit and you can manifest and heal anything you want. I think of it as like going to the red tent in 2023, where people don't actually go to the red tent to menstruate anymore. When I wear red during my bleed, it's like me nodding and acknowledging that part of myself. And I think this color is perfect for that, or any of the shades of it. So it's a fun way to incorporate it into your lipstick or your accessories or your fingernails. Now, let's talk about like how to wear this like in an outfit. So monochromatic outfits. Hello. I immediately think of monochromatic suits and this beautiful Viva Magenta. Definitely there's going to be some dresses, like one-piece jumpsuits. I really am picture this one piece, the sets, the jumpers, the suits, the matching monochromatic versions of this, and even the red and like pink versions of it mashed together. Red and pink has been a really big color block that we've seen in fall. I'm pretty sure it's going to continue into spring, and you're going to see so much red and pink mashups of this like magenta and this more vivid red color, and it's going to be so amazing. One of my favorite stylist friends, her style is so amazing. Like, she's my style muse. Just had her red Converse on and she puts pink laces in it. And I was like, girl, thanks for putting me onto that. I am totally about to borrow that from you. And it's going to be so juicy. And I totally see that color combination picking up in 2023. But I want to share some other fun color combos that feel super quantum and super fun on this lifestyle edit. If you're like not going to be wearing pink and red, I wanted to share some of my other favorite. So magenta and ice blue, red and baby blue, hands down, one of my favorite color combinations that I don't think people do enough. But that really deep Viva Magenta is going to be so beautiful. With the icy blue, that's definitely going to be on trend, especially as we get closer to spring. And those pastels are already making headlines in the fashion world that they're going to show back up for spring. And the lilacs and the icy blues are going to be so, so beautiful and such a compliment to that Viva Magenta. And then if you're like, sounds great, still not going to do it, you can also pair it with like a khaki or a camel, or say, yes, like a nude. And I think that's going to be a juicy color combination too. But, don't wear it to Target because they might think you work there. That's my big fashion tip. If you don't take anything from the show, I do think Viva Magenta and khaki and camel is going to be an amazing color combination, but don't wear it to Target because you will look like you work there. Anyways, ladies, I hope that you enjoy this episode of setting the intention for 2023, for the month of January, to step up, do something quantum, edit our lifestyle so it fits us. Think about how you're doing that. Shared some style tips with you guys to get you started. Those are things I'm loving. I'm just obsessed with the color of the year. And I think there's some really fun ways to weave this into our lives as we go out and we, look to create that joy and that optimism and write that new narrative for ourselves. So if you enjoyed today's episodes and you're ready to join the Style Squad, you can hop on the wait list. The directions are in the show notes. Or if you're ready to get styled because you're like, yes, 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 it's my time. I'm ready to go. Hit me up on Insta at Katie Allen Stylist, or just go ahead and book a call. If you're ready, just take some action. You don't have time to waste, right? We'll just hop on the phone for a little bit, see if you think it's a good fit. We'll talk about the packages, and it's easy peasy. What you get here is exactly what you're going to get on that call. And I will talk to you guys soon. See you on the flip side. Deuces.